Asuka, the energetic and strong mother. Yamato, the younger brother who's always in his own little world. Follow us as we karate kick all your daily frustrations away. Asuka's Revenge.
My name is Aska. I've been living with his parents after I married him. Good morning. Good morning, Asuka-san. I told my friend that I live with them and... I can't believe you live with your in-laws. I could never do it. They would often complain to me, but both my in-laws work, so I almost never hear anything bad from them. It's really nice and comfy, actually. My grandma would work on her garden or play gate ball and never really got in the way of things. If anything, she's been looking after her kids really well. I would often go to buy groceries while letting her look after the kids. Is this heaven? I was having a great time except for my sister-in-law and her husband, Ryosuke. They live about 15 minutes away from the home, and Sayaka-san brings her kids around often. Huh? You're leaving your kids again?
Just for a second, I gotta go with my friends. I'm so glad that my in-laws are so nice.
She didn't seem to really care at all. She left her kids in our hands. That's going a little too far, don't you think? I was getting pretty irritated. Just leave her alone. It's fine. My grandma often told me that, so I did. Man, I guess it's tough to make someone her age angry, huh? It's completely different how chill you are. Sometimes she would stay at the house and drink tea while dropping off her kids, but she would often say,
Ryosuke looks meh, but he's a great ATM.
Pretty horrible, huh? Ryosuke-kun was pretty young, but worked in a pretty specific field. He makes decent money and works at a decent company. He's smart and hardworking. You shouldn't be talking about your own husband like that, especially at his own parents' house. I warned her, but she wouldn't listen at all.
It's just the truth.
She would just chuckle. You're seriously so rotten. Ugh. In addition, Sayaka-san said,
Your husband, on the other hand, looks great, but is a pretty meh as an ATM.
That's pretty rude, don't you think?
It's just the truth.
I really felt uncomfortable and angry. I didn't like her at all. I'm pretty satisfied, and he works hard for his family, so I love him to death. She often said these things while my mother-in-law wasn't around, but it's not like she stopped if she was around. I'm the only one that can hear her.
I mean, who cares? It's not like she can hear.
Disgusting. Seriously, I can't handle this. Then, one day, something happened. The other day, my mother-in-law, father-in-law, and Sayaka with her husband all went out to eat together. It was when there were no kids around. This food is really delicious. Yeah, it is. You can't have this kind of flavor at the house.
What? But you're so good at cooking!
Oh, you, stop it. Look at her kissing ass. The conversation continued on with Sayaka-san's empty compliments taking the lead.
Sayaka, how about you learn how to cook from Mom?
What? But you're so good at cooking.
I mean, yeah! Dude, shut up!
Ryota and Ryosuke-kun were both unaware of the actions and things that she was saying about their mother. Then, one day, my grandmother all of a sudden, Oh, yeah, there's apparently an ATM or something at your house. I heard that it was really convenient or something. I guess it looks horrible, though. If my back and knees weren't so bad, I'd love to get a glimpse of this ATM thing. She started talking.
Grandma?
What? Wait, what are you talking about? An ATM at Ryosuke's house?
Of course, everyone completely understood that she wasn't talking about a machine at that point. Grandma, that's not what that means. Ryosuke-kun was bright red and clearly furious. My father-in-law and Ryota were both furious as well.
Explain yourself!
Then Sayaka-san said,
Huh? Wait, but she can't hear.
She was completely panicked. Then Ryosuke-kun bit down and looked over at his mom and said,
Sorry, that's not about a machine, Mom. That's about me.
He told her the truth. What? At first, she was just confused, but eventually, she started understanding what was going on.
You little, what are you talking about? Looks bad. Ryosuke looks just like Brad Pitt. He's a great-looking man.
She was screaming at Sayaka-san and started chasing her without a care in the world that we were still in a restaurant. I'm glad it was a private room.
Yeah.
Afterwards, we managed to calm her down and we all disbanded, but it was terrifying afterwards too. Apparently, Sayaka-san would often come over to give the child to my mother-in-law because she wanted to go sleep with another man.
I thought it was suspicious, so I kind of investigated her.
Apparently, Sayaka-san was dating someone before Ryosuke-kun and her got married and they never really broke it off beforehand. She even went to a hotel to have some fun once a week with their kid swimming instructor. Ryosuke was getting ready for a divorce.
If there's anything we can do to help, just let us know.
Thanks, bro.
I don't want to break up with you.
Sayaka-san was begging at first, but...
Well, that's 'cause I'm an ATM, right? Yeah, convenient for you!
Ryoto-kun dropped that bomb on her and she couldn't say anything back. She had to sign the divorce papers. Then Sayaka-san, who often came over to leave her kids at the house, said,
I don't want kids.
so it was pretty easy for Ryosuke-kun to take the kids on. He of course sued her for damages and child support. Sayaka-san was found out by her relatives and parents about this whole incident, and she was sent back to the countryside where she was going to be monitored and under observation all day. She probably doesn't have time to meet any men now. After this whole incident, the worst part I played in this was... Here, use this.
Oh, wow. I can hear everything really well. Thank you.
I gave my mother-in-law a hearing aid and didn't tell Sayaka-san. No, she's always just leaving her kids here and then leaving, so it's not like I had a good time to tell her. Then the whole comment about the ATM caused the divorce between Sayaka and her husband. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, it's fine. These kind of things need to be sorted out sooner rather than later.
I was pretty happy that she wasn't angry. After getting the divorce, my brother-in-law came back to his parents' house as well, so now the house is even more loud and bright than before.
You leave the great-grandkids to me.
You gotta live long for that.
Yeah, that's right. You better live long.
We all thanked her very much.
My name is Ryota. This is when I was living with Asuka with plans for marriage. Woo! This looks so good! Asuka always cooked me food from when we were dating, and I needed a lot of energy for work, so she always helped me out by giving me plenty of nutrient-dense food. Of course, she didn't just give me a bunch of food that was dense in calories. She gave me plenty of veggies too. Asuka's bento is seriously the best thing ever.
Ah, your girlfriend handmade your bento again? She must be busy every day.
Seriously, I have nothing but appreciation. This is my coworker, Yamato. He recently got married and had a child. Then one day after work...
I have something I want to ask you about. Can I go by your house?
He said out of the blue. But at that time, Asuka was also on her way home, so I didn't want to try and handle a guest on my own. I don't mind eating out somewhere to talk, but Asuka's still out with work, so I don't have anything I can really do at home. But still, he said,
I want to talk about my marriage, so I want to hear Asuka-san's opinion too.
He wouldn't budge.
Please, I want to go over. I'm begging you.
He just would not let go. Yamada hasn't been one to talk to me about anything, so I spoke to Asuka to tell her about it. But she said,
Huh? I can't do anything, but if he's okay with it, can you just get some alcohol for me?
So I invited Yamada over.
Thanks for having me.
So, you want to talk about your relationship with your wife?
Yeah. I'll take my time in talking to you.
Even after we were drinking at his house, he wouldn't start talking about what he said he wanted to. So I was starting to get irritated.
I'm home. Sorry to keep you guys waiting.
Then Asuka came home. She immediately started preparing.
Sorry, I'll make us something for us real quick.
She made about 5 things for us in about an hour.
Sorry again.
Of course, she put out the snacks first, then the main dish. So I really felt proud of my girlfriend.
Huh? What? How?
Yamada, watching the whole thing unfold, looked confused and surprised. Asuka finally took a seat with us.
All right, let's eat. I'm hungry.
He finally started talking, tears in his eyes.
Well, I wanted to talk about,
Why are you crying, dude? According to Yamada, he saw me bringing my bento that was handmade by Asuka.
The only reason that she's able to make that much is because she spends time on it, right? I'm sure it's probably just store-bought or something, too. He's just being fooled. What a nerd.
He was looking down on me the whole time and laughing. You little...
But that was all wrong. She really was cooking for you.
I came to a sudden realization. Wait, you came all this way just to check that? I wanted to punch him in his face, but I was just shocked by his next words.
Which means that my wife is totally just not doing anything and slacking. I found a crappy wife.
Honestly, Asuka and I were both pretty tired and disgusted by Yamada's behavior. What? We were both stunned. Listening to Yamada's story, apparently he always eats a regular main dish with some side dishes.
If my parents only cooked a single dish, I wouldn't mind either. But Ryota-san, your bento is different. You always get so many other dishes, and it's so good looking.
That's because Asuka's working hard for me.
I tell my wife that I want more, but she says that they both work. So she's sure that Asuka is probably just buying things from the store. So I wanted to check today to make sure, and reassure myself that not every wife is perfect.
I don't give a shit about your little ego, dude.
Well, now that I know my wife is slacking, I can't really unsee what I've seen.
He started seriously crying. I was honestly just stunned by the stupidity of the whole thing. This is so stupid. You really came all this way to look at Asuka cook just because of all that? I was part angry and part just disgusted. Asuka, I'm sorry for making you cook in such a rush over something so stupid. Asuka, who was listening this whole time, quietly nodding her head, said,
I mean, if you want more food, just cook yourself.
Then Yamada stood there like he just got slapped in the face. Asuka continued,
Your wife is in her early 20s and makes you a solid meal every day, right?
I mean, yeah, but...
You know, it must be difficult with cooking for you and raising the child. You don't think you're a lucky man to have a wife that works that hard for you?
I mean, yeah, sure, but I've got work to do.
It's fine. I've got work too. At first it was pretty difficult, but once I got used to it, it wasn't too bad. You can do it too. Ryota also helps me out recently too, right, sweetie?
Asuka asked me. So I said, yeah, I mean, sometimes. I really only do little things to help out around the area, but Asuka kept cheering me on.
It's going to be fine, my guy.
Maybe she was starting to get tipsy. She was starting to talk about her friends' horror stories of raising a child, and how simple and easy it is to really make small side dishes.
So yeah, you just cut the carrots thin or fry them and make a salad.
Asuka worked in education, so she was always great at teaching. Yamada wanted to argue back, but he couldn't really say anything because of how positive and bright Asuka was. At the end,
I'll do my best.
All right, great job. Let's try practicing now.
both Yamada and I were pretty drunk at this point. But now I was also dragged into this mess of cooking. I remember the really simple stuff, but...
No, that's scary. Fix your grip. Yeah, perfect. You're doing great. Oh, you just cut like this.
Sure. I want to go to sleep. At first, Yamada wasn't too interested, but he started getting better, and with Asuka's help, he started feeling more confident. The final dish was actually great. Someone made the food, and it wasn't just appearing on the dish.
Whoa, that's crazy!
Asuka gave her advice before packing up some extra food in Tupperware, and sending it to him. A few days later, Yamada said that he talked to his wife, and we received some cookies as a thank you. She does the cooking primarily, and Yamada does some additional side cooking. Asuka would also often send emails,
These are the ingredients you need.
helping him out. But recently,
My hobby is cooking.
he was really great. The other day, he saw my bento and said,
I really am sorry for all the trouble I put you two through that day. But I'm glad that I went to your house. If I hadn't had Asuka-san help me out, I might have even had a divorce.
Then I felt better overall, like a weight lifted off my shoulders. I mean, my wife is the best wife in the galaxy.
My name is Kotomi. My husband Satoshi is 35 years old, and we have 2 children the same age. I love to cook, and I'm particular about counting calories and number of dishes. I just want my kids and my husband eat well and stay healthy. I weigh out the rice and put in front of the family, whether it's white rice or grain rice.
Itadakimasu!
Itadakimasu!
The kids look forward to my cooking.
I don't want to go to a family restaurant. I'd rather eat at home than eat out.
It's too greasy. I don't like it.
That's how much they like home-cooked food. Family restaurants and fast food are delicious, but what parent wouldn't be happy to hear their kids' praise?
Thanks for the food.
That's right, about going back to the parents' house for Golden Week.
Oh, you don't have to come to my parents' house anymore.
What? This is a sad memory from a year ago that is no one's fault. Or if I may say so, the honesty of a child may have hurt my husband. We visited my husband's parents for Golden Week a year ago. What's served there are instant noodles, instant curry, fried shrimp from the supermarket.
I want to eat Mom's food. I'm thirsty.
Kotomi-san is a good cook after all. I quickly followed up. Grandma's busy, but she prepared this for us. If you say that much, you guys should cook. My husband said nothing and looked uncomfortable.
Then teach us how to make the best dish before we come next time, Mom.
What do you like, Grandma?
Meat and potatoes. I'm looking forward to it. My mother-in-law and father-in-law are both very generous people, so things didn't get particularly awkward at my parents-in-law's house. But the car ride home was the worst.
I can finally eat Mom's food.
Home is the best. Hey, is my parents' house that bad?
What are you talking about? I had a lot of fun.
I didn't ask you. I grew up there all my life. I feel bad. It's like you're denying my upbringing.
Sorry.
I won't say anything you don't like anymore, Dad.
Well, you know, people's houses are all different, and there's no such thing as good or bad. After this statement I made, there was no more conversation in the car until we arrived home. No one would like to be denied of their upbringing. This is the reason why we're not visiting my in-laws this year.
I want to learn how to cook even if we're not going to see Grandma.
Mom, teach me how to make fried tofu tomorrow.
Sure, that's actually really easy.
I'm going to Wakdo tomorrow. I don't need any food.
Okay, you can go tomorrow. It's happening a lot lately. My husband sometimes goes out to eat alone. It's something we discussed and it's okay, as long as it's within the family allowance. My husband weighed 98 kilograms at 182 centimeters when we first married, and he went down to 80 kilograms. He's going to gain weight again. One day, I got up the courage to talk to my husband. You know, we said it was okay as long as it's within our allowance, but haven't you been eating out more lately? How much do you weigh?
If you don't want me to go out to eat, then serve me something more hearty. It's not enough meat and fat.
Okay, I'll make you a giant hamburger steak next week. That day, I prepared just enough meat to meet my husband's request in terms of nutritional balance. I'm sure Satoshi will be satisfied. I said giant hamburger steak, so I used tofu to add extra volume, but I think it turned out pretty tasty.
Itadakimasu! Yum! Not like this.
What? You don't like it?
I want more mindless food. Calories, fiber. I just want to live more carefree. Even if it's just in my house.
But I just want Satoshi to be healthy.
My body's healthy, but my mind is not.
Poor Mom. She said she'd make hamburger steak for you, Dad.
There were times when my husband would stand in the kitchen and cook whatever he wanted, but every time he did, the kids would say,
Mom said cleaning up is part of cooking. You have to throw the garbage away.
so he sulked and stopped standing in the kitchen.
I should have married someone more suitable. I don't need kids either.
The night I made a giant hamburger steak, he ended up going out for a drink, so I was alone in bed reflecting on what he said.
I'm an outcast. I'm lonely because even the kids are on your side.
That's because you never took care of the kids in the past. Yes, Satoshi was so disinterested in his children, they were raised mostly by me and my mother. I never once blamed him for that, but I think it's only natural that the kids would be fond of me. No, I'll just go to sleep remembering how happy the kids were then, how Satoshi was disappointed. I naturally fell asleep listening to the kids' laughter and talking that leaked from the other room. I must have been in a light sleep because when I woke up, I heard my husband talking on the floor below. Is he calling someone? I have to go to the bathroom. I'm sorry. I decided to go downstairs quietly so as not to disturb him.
Oh no, I gotta go.
He hung up the phone and hid the phone behind his back the moment he saw me. What was that about?
It was my junior.
Why'd you hang up so soon?
We were discussing personal information.
I went straight to the bathroom. Good night, I told him and fell asleep again. This was at noon on a Saturday when the kids went over to the neighbor's house to play.
Sorry I cheated on you. I still do.
My husband was honest from the moment we started dating. He can't hide anything from me.
And honestly, I don't think I can stop cheating.
He went to a dessert bar with a woman who worked for him, and that's when they started having an affair.
I couldn't go in alone, so I asked her to come with me. You said you would never go there, right, Kotomi? All that bad food?
How old is she?
She's 22 years old. Just graduated.
She was younger than I thought she'd be, and I was stunned. Are you serious? You want to divorce me?
I want a divorce. She's the one that comforts me.
I couldn't respond immediately. I was always prided myself on being Satoshi's #1 wife. I don't want a divorce. I thought Satoshi couldn't live without my protection, but I realized that was what was driving Satoshi away. Tell me honestly what you didn't like about me. I always kept the house clean, but
It's like a showroom. It's exhausting.
the nutritionally balanced diet.
I'm the only one excluded who doesn't enjoy it.
What I did for Satoshi's sake all backfired. At first, I thought about forgiving the affair and continuing our life together, but
Please, I'll pay you this much now.
he started negotiating.
I'll pay you this much in child support too. So let me be with my junior.
He was so determined that I agreed to the divorce. Satoshi left the house for us.
You still love me, right? Yet you divorced me. So I have to make it up to you.
Those were his last words. The kids were okay as long as they got to live with me.
It's normal for kids to be without dads nowadays.
And men who say bad things about their mothers should get thrown out. Bye-bye.
And they were on my side as usual. I used to cry about it in my sleep, but one day, I just got over it. I got a lot of money from Dad, so I'm thinking of starting something, I declared to the kids. I used to post my cooking on social media, and I was trying to make that into a full-time job.
A cooking expert?
Yup. At first, I studied cooking for Satoshi, but I started thinking it'd be better if it was for everyone. Thanks to you guys, I was able to have a dream. The dining table brightened up after Satoshi left. Maybe it's a good thing we got divorced because we only talk about positive things now. In the past year, the number of followers on my social media started growing, and I became a full-fledged influencer. I'm really happy when people send me messages saying how delicious my recipes are.
Can we start over? You still like me, right?
I'm going to block you. I started getting more and more buzz on social media, and 2 years after the divorce, I joined a talent agency. I'm making as much money as Satoshi now. I'm glad I went independent. I thought I could still start my life over if I didn't give up.
I wrote about you in an essay about someone I admire, Mom.
I'm glad. Thanks. Still, I was troubled by Satoshi's request to get back together. I heard Satoshi gained weight again and that he was dumped by the junior woman who he was serious about.
Did you really think I was going to marry an old man like you?
He was shocked to hear that and is trying to get back to me. So, Satoshi was the only one who was serious. I think my ex-mother-in-law is telling Satoshi to refrain from contacting me, but the more he is held back, the more he gets fired up. I joined an agency, so be careful. If you keep persisting, I'll call a lawyer. I don't have any feelings for Satoshi anymore, so don't get me wrong. My ex-mother-in-law and I kept in touch from time to time after the divorce. But when I thought she praised me for my TV appearance,
Satoshi is always bragging about how he was married to such an amazing woman. I want you to refrain from appearing on TV.
she complained, so I cut her off. What right do you have to tell me what to do? We're divorced and you're just a stranger. Today I'm busy making people happy all over the country. I'll make my own way. I'm Kotomi the cooking expert. What's the dish you're going to introduce today? Giant hamburger steak with tofu. I'm Kotomi. This is my husband, Keita. We got married about a year ago. Have a good day, Keita.
You too!
His family lived far away. His father ran his own business. His mom worked too, but I'm not sure what she does exactly. His sister Aoi still lived with them. Then, just the other day, we learned that Aoi was getting married. That was great news, but then something unexpected happened. Excuse me? My mother-in-law, she asked me to lend her $10,000.
I need it for Aoi's wedding.
Why come to me, though? Aoi's fiancé was a civil servant, and he didn't want any money from his parents. They were going to pay for everything on their own, but my mother-in-law said,
I still want to help them. I'm her mother, so...
I see. Okay, when Kate and I got married, she did give us $7,000, so... When we got married, Keita didn't have any savings, but we split the wedding fee 50-50. I paid for my half with my savings and money I got from family and friends. Keita's parents paid for his half, and Keita gave them all the money he got from his friends afterwards. And they still had $7,000 left over, so they gave it back to us, basically. We should probably give it back. We were planning to give it back, but at the wedding, Keita's dad got really drunk and made a scene. It was really embarrassing and it kind of ruined the party, so we decided to keep it. By the way, my parents didn't give us any money because I told them not to, but...
That's so cold.
My mother-in-law said to me after the wedding. By the way, Keita was also a civil servant, which meant...
You can borrow money from the city at a low interest rate. So what's the big deal? I'll pay you back right after the wedding.
She was right, but I don't know, something felt off. I wasn't very comfortable lending her money. I just don't like lending money to begin with, and it's for her daughter's wedding. Why should I even help her? Why come to me for this? Something didn't feel right, and even though we had some money saved up, I couldn't just lend her $10,000 like that. If I agree to this, I'd have to take out a loan. By the way, Aoi was a really sweet girl. She was really nice and I liked her a lot. And the thing is, before all this, I was planning on getting her some kind of wedding gift. But now, thanks to her mother, I wasn't sure what to do. She just made everything more complicated. What now? A few days ago when I saw Aoi,
We finally have enough money saved up for the wedding and the honeymoon, too.
she seemed really excited. She said she already had enough money saved up, so does she really need the money? I wouldn't mind giving her the money myself, but why does it have to go through my mother-in-law? Well, I need to talk to Kate about this. If he says no, I'm sure she'll understand. And I think she just wanted to show off in front of her daughter.
I'm rich.
She was always going on vacation, and she loved designer clothes and designer bags. She was a big spender, but that didn't mean she was actually wealthy. If she was, I don't think she'd be asking me for a loan in the first place. Stop pretending to be something you're not. Why should I take out a loan so she can feel good about herself, right? And another thing, she told me to keep this a secret. She didn't want any of her family to know. That seemed a bit odd. Look, I'll talk to Keita, but no promises. And even if he says yes, you have to tell your family about it. That's the only way we'll lend you the money. So that night I talked to Keita. At first, he didn't seem to mind lending her the money.
You worried too much, Kotomi. I'm sure she'll pay us back.
I hope so. We had more than $10,000 in our savings, but it was in our savings account, so...
We should just take out a loan. Interest rates are really low these days, so...
I agreed with him on that, but I still didn't feel like lending her the money. Keita didn't seem to mind, though.
We're not losing money, so why not just help her?
He had a point, but I still didn't like the idea. But I just don't like lending money to other people. And another thing, if she's broke, she should stop spending so much money on vacations and stuff. It just doesn't feel right, you know? We couldn't come to an agreement. And the fact that she wanted to keep this loan a secret didn't help either. If she's got nothing to hide, she should tell her family about it. Keita was starting to get annoyed by me. I'm not being paranoid or anything. When it comes to money, you shouldn't keep secrets. Is he siding with his mom? I was getting worried. And she probably thought we owed her.
I gave you guys $7,000.
But that was Keita's money to begin with. They didn't really give it to us. And she gave it back because her husband acted like an idiot at the wedding.
What's done is done. Stop complaining.
I didn't know what to do about her. What now? And she was putting Keita in an awkward position too.
I don't want to explain all this to my dad and Aoi. I don't have time for this.
He already had enough on his plate with work and everything.
Don't tell anyone.
He also said.
If I don't listen to her, she'll freak out. I don't want to deal with all that.
Well, I guess he did have a point, and apparently things between his parents weren't so well. He said they were always fighting and stuff. Maybe that's part of the reason why she wants to keep this on the down low. I was getting tired of thinking about this. I really don't want to deal with her anymore. Maybe I should just give her the money and cut all ties with her. I don't think she's gonna pay me back anyways. Maybe it was for the best.
My mom. All she cares about is money.
Kata was getting pretty annoyed by all this too. So, in the long run, it might be better to just give her the money and be done with it. She gave us 7 grand, so technically we'll only be losing 3 grand plus interest, so if I don't have to deal with her anymore, I think it's worth it. So I told Kata, look, let's talk about this tomorrow. I'm tired, but if you're gonna lend her the money, make sure to get an IOU from her in writing, and it might be easier to just take the money from her savings account. Taking out a loan requires a lot of paperwork, so I'm just saying. And no secrets either. If she wants the money, she's gonna have to tell her family about it.
I can't let people find out about this.
She'll probably complain about it, but whatever. I think she was trying to show off in front of Aoi's fiancé and his family. She wanted him to think that she was rich.
I have plenty of money. Here's 10 grand. Take it, no worries.
She's such a show-off. And another thing, my parents-in-law were both in their 50s. Didn't they have any savings? 10 grand isn't even that much money. They don't even have that? If that's the case, how are they gonna pay me back? But according to my mother-in-law,
Oh, we got savings, don't you worry about that. But if you think about the interest rates, it's better to take out a loan.
she said she'd pay us back right away with interest. I did the math and the interest was around 30 bucks. If she's really gonna pay us back right away, why not just borrow money from one of those consumer loan companies? They offer 0 interest if you pay them back within a month or so. It just didn't add up. Why did she have to show off like this anyways? She was always wearing designer clothes and stuff. When I told Kate about this handbag she had the other day, that thing cost 3 grand. Did you know that? He couldn't believe that. He knew she didn't have that kind of money. I got some brochures from local consumer loan companies and handed them to her, but
I don't want to borrow money from those places. No way.
she said no. Ugh, what am I supposed to do? Then I got a text from her. It said,
Aoi's wedding is getting pretty expensive. She got in a huge fight with her fiancé about it. My husband knows about this too. Aoi said she'll pay me back with the money she gets from her friends right away, so lend me the 10 grand, please.
why do I have a hard time believing her? I was pretty sure she was lying. So I showed this email to Keita, and he agreed with me.
I want to do everything I can for my little sister, but this sounds really sketchy. I think she's lying.
He finally sided with me. Thank goodness. So I grabbed the phone and replied. You said you don't want to take out a loan for yourself, but what about your son? You're okay with him taking out a loan? And another thing, do you really have to give your daughter 10 grand for her wedding? The last time I saw her, she told me she had enough money saved up. And if you really want to give her the money, why don't you just take it out of your savings? At your age, you should have way more than 10 grand in your savings account. And why do you need to keep this a secret? You're asking me to take out a loan without consulting my husband. You know he can divorce me for that, right? I understand interest rates are low, but Aoi's fiancé is a civil servant too, right? Why can't he take out a loan himself if they need the money so much? And another thing, does Aoi and her fiancé know about this? And what about his parents? If they don't, how can you be so sure that you're gonna get the money back? If you can answer all these questions for me, I'll think about the loan, but otherwise, please don't contact me again. That felt good. I went to graduate school. I'm pretty smart, you know? She wasn't gonna outsmart me. Not today. That should shut her up.
Yeah.
I said everything I wanted to say, so I was pretty satisfied. I didn't really care about this anymore, so I left the decision to Keita. But if you're gonna give her the money, give it to your sister directly. Don't give it to your mother. And you have to tell Aoi about all this. If you want, I can talk to her for you, I said to him. A few days later, she replied,
How dare you talk to me like that? I'm your mother-in-law. Show some respect. And our financial situation is none of your business. Stay out of it.
She didn't answer any of my questions. I knew it. She was lying all along. So I replied, You're not even my real mother. And even if you were, I'm still entitled to my opinion. And let's not forget, You're the one that came to us asking for money, so I think I have the right to ask you a few questions. Like I already told you, it's up to Keita now, so just leave me out of this. A few hours later, she replied,
You're a horrible person. I feel bad for you.
What does she mean by that? Whatever, I don't care anymore. Please don't text me again. Goodbye. There was a bunch of other things I wanted to tell her, but I didn't feel like spending any more time on her. Then a few days later, Keita got a call from this father. He was furious.
Your wife thinks she's pretty smart, huh? She's so disrespectful. We want nothing to do with her anymore.
Why was he mad at me for? And what does me being smart have to do with any of this? My father-in-law was a drunk who thought it was okay to drive under the influence. I wanted nothing to do with him either, so fine by me. I guess his wife showed him the text I sent her. I could hear him screaming over the phone. It sounded like he was threatening me. Whatever, he's all talk. He's just a drunk. I wasn't worried about him. And as for Keita,
I never want to see them again!
he was fed up with them too.
All they care about is money. They've always been like this, you know?
Glad he's on my side. At first, I thought he was gonna side with his mom, but good thing that didn't happen. Then his father said to us,
You're not invited to Aoi's wedding!
that kinda sucked. I really wanted to be there.
Whatever. I'll ask my sister to send me pics later.
Sounds good to me. But how are they gonna explain this to their guest? They'll notice that Keita isn't there. He's the only sibling Aoi's got, so they're definitely gonna notice. Whatever. Keita and I decided to return the $7,000. Then we cut all ties with them. We didn't want to deal with them anymore, and $7,000 was a cheap price to pay to get them out of our lives. I mean, legally they were still family, but hopefully I'll never have to see them again. They're all talk anyways. They're not gonna do anything. We sent Aoi a wedding gift a few days later. But then, something unexpected happened.
I applied for the loan just in case.
Keita handed in the loan application form just in case Aoi really needed the money, but...
But, I got rejected!
Oh, so we couldn't help them either way.
Yeah!
Apparently you can't take out a loan for a family member's wedding. I didn't know that. I guess we couldn't help them even if we wanted to. Well, I'm just glad they were out of our lives now. And it was good to know that Keita had my back. A few days later, Aoi sent us pictures from her wedding. It looked like a beautiful wedding. We still kept in touch with her, but we never heard another word from her parents. Hope it stays that way.
I'm Ryota. This is a story about something that happened to me back in college. I was still dating my wife at the time, and one day I introduced her to my parents. This is my girlfriend, Aska. We're thinking about getting married in a few years. My parents wanted to come see her in person, so she came over to my house the night before their visit.
I can't wait to meet them. I'm getting kind of nervous though.
She's so cute! My parents were really excited too.
I can't wait to cook for her.
My mom said she wanted to cook for her, so we got some groceries from this high-end supermarket near our house.
Never been here before.
It was really close to my place, but things are really expensive here, so I always walked a few blocks to save money. This place is really expensive. You sure about this?
Oh, come on. They're coming all this way to see us. It's the least we can do. Wow, look at all this stuff. This is fun.
I guess. So we started shopping. It was our first time shopping there.
All right, that should be enough. Did we forget anything?
I don't think so. So we went towards the register to pay for our stuff. There was a long line, so we waited. But then, this kid behind us started crying.
I can't wait anymore. I want to go home already.
He was probably in elementary school or something. He started whining and complaining about the line.
Be quiet. We just have to wait. Behave yourself.
His mom sounded pretty scary. The line is pretty long.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for him.
Waiting is never fun. At first, we kind of felt bad for the kid. But then,
I want to go home now.
I said be quiet.
the kid started pushing the cart back and forth, starting hitting me in my back. But I don't think they noticed. It was getting kind of annoying. Ouch! So I said, "Hey, you're hitting me with your cart. Could you stop that, please?" I asked him nicely to stop, but then...
I wanna go home! I wanna go home!
It just made things worse. This kid was out of control. Ouch! That really hurts. I was pretty annoyed, but he's just a kid. So I decided to ignore him. Then Asuka said to the mom,
Do you want to go first? We can wait.
it was our turn next, but she offered to let them go first. Good idea! The mom looked at her for a few seconds, then she grabbed her basket and moved in front of us. She didn't even say thank you.
Ouch!
And not only that, she hit Asuka with her car by accident. You okay?
Yeah, no worries.
What's her problem? She didn't even apologize. There was something wrong with this woman. I had to say something. So I walked up to her and said, "Hey, what's with the attitude, huh? How about a thank you? And you hit her with your cart. Say sorry." But then she just said to me,
Young man, this is a grocery store for the wealthy. You don't belong here. Get out of here. Go on.
then she started kicking our basket to the floor. I didn't know what to do about her. What is wrong with her? Seriously. Then she said,
Why is your basket on the floor? Pick it up already.
"It's on the floor because you hit us with yours." Excuse me? What is her problem? I was hoping the store staff would say something, but the guy at the register didn't want to get involved. He just kept scanning her items. I couldn't take it anymore.
325, 520.
Say something! Seriously, where's the manager? I want to talk to someone in charge. Hey, lady! I finally snapped at her. But then Asuka said,
We're terribly sorry, ma'am. I didn't realize the grocery store is for people who lack common sense. We should have went to the other store down the street. This is totally our fault.
Then she turned to the guy at the register and said,
I'm sorry, but I think we'll be leaving now. Could you put these items back to the shelf? Again, we're terribly sorry for all the trouble. But don't worry, you won't be seeing us again, so...
And then she bowed to him. Wow. Well said, Asuka. The guy just said,
Okay.
He seemed a bit confused. Then she handed the basket to the staff and walked out of the store.
Come on, Ryota.
All right. But then this other lady that worked here, she called the manager. The store manager came running. I'm terribly sorry. He started apologizing to us. But Asuka just said to him,
For what? You've done nothing wrong.
Then she tried to leave. Wait, please, ma'am. I'm sorry our staff was so rude to you. I'm truly sorry. Well, that's more like it. But it wasn't really his fault. It was that lady and that kid. They started all this. Manager was freaking out. It was kind of funny. Then the manager had a talk with the crazy lady. Not sure how he convinced her, but she agreed to pay us for damages and medical expenses. Oh, and turns out my toe was broken. I didn't notice at the time, but when that kid ran that shopping cart into my foot, it chipped one of my nails and broke my toe.
That's not funny. How did you not notice?
A few days later, that crazy lady's husband came to our house to apologize.
I am truly sorry about what happened. It won't happen again.
Well, at least her husband isn't crazy. But she just said to him,
Who are you again? I don't think we've met.
So the next day, he came back again with his wife. Her left cheek was bruised. Wow. Did her husband hit her or something? He seemed like a normal guy, but I guess not.
I'm truly sorry.
She was all quiet now. It was kind of funny. Then about a week later, we got all kinds of free stuff from that grocery store. They even sent us discount coupons.
Look at all this stuff. Wow.
Free food! Yay!
What happened to you guys? You okay? Are you hurt? It's a long story.
When my parents came over, they seemed really worried, but when I told them what happened at the grocery store, they seemed a bit relieved.
She's a tough one, isn't she? Good to know.
Yeah! Please take good care of our son, Asuka.
They loved her. Glad that went well. The lady and her kid, they were pretty annoying, but I guess it's a good thing we went there. Just glad everything worked out. A few weeks later, I saw them again at the store, but as soon as they saw me, they ran off.
Oh, run!
Relax. Jeez. But I never saw them after that. I wonder what happened to them. Oh well, who cares?
My name is Fubuki. I was 32 years old at the time. My wife, Hiromi, who worked as a machine maintenance worker at a certain facility, was 26 years old and worked for a company. Our children were 5 and 4 years old at that time. I found out about Hiromi's affair through a testimony from my friend and his wife. My friend and his wife are a weird couple who like to go to hotels all over the place. What? One day, they went out to a hotel together and happened to see Hiromi in the lobby. My friend usually sends me an email, but he called me, which was rare.
Fubuki, can you talk right now?
What's up? Something urgent? It was a late lunch break, so I kept calling.
I'm at a hotel with my wife.
What? Are you slacking? You're as lively as ever, aren't you?
I actually met Hiromi at the hotel. Anyway, I'll get the proof. So come to my place after work.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I couldn't believe what I heard from my friend, so I was up in the air during work in the afternoon. I had an early shift that day, so I left work at 4 p.m. and headed to my friend's house, still in disbelief. Tell me it's a joke. I hoped so. But when my friend met me at the door, he didn't greet me with his usual friendliness and quietly led me straight to the living room. Sorry to bother you.
I'm pretty sure it's Hiromi, but I'll check with you too, Fubuki.
Yeah. Even at this stage, I was skeptical and thought the words, "It was a surprise," would appear on the video screen. But reality was different. The video was taken from a parking lot somewhere.
You see, this is a hotel with a parking lot on the ground floor.
A couple of minutes into the video, a couple emerged from the elevator entrance, arm in arm. The screen zoomed in on the man, who looked younger than 40, and the woman, who was unmistakably my wife, Hiromi.
There's no mistake, right?
Yeah, it's Hiromi.
Don't get yourself worked up, alright?
Yeah, I think it's fine. It's weird to say this about my own personality, but I've always had a tendency to be more calm in extreme situations like this. So to be honest, after watching the video, I was emotionally unaffected. The video ended with them parting in the parking lot of some shopping center, and on the way home, I got a printout of some of the scenes from the video. And then I went straight to pick up the kids from daycare, which was a good thing, because I was originally supposed to pick them up since I finished work early that day. Then I came home, got the kids changed, and I went to drop them off at my sister Asuka's, who's a stay-at-home mom. Sorry for the short notice, but if it's okay with you, would you mind keeping the kids for a little while? Depending on the situation, I might ask if they could stay the night. As I said that, Asuka seemed to have figured something out.
What's wrong? Did something happen?
She asked. Things might get really ugly.
Did something happen with Hiromi by any chance?
Yeah, well...
Okay, I get it. Call me if you need anything.
I was relieved to get her consent, as the kids were close to Asuka. Then I went back to my house and waited for Hiromi to return. Hiromi came home at the same time as her usual work time, with an indifferent look on her face. How can you be so calm? I felt anger in my calmness, but I kept my composure. Hiromi immediately noticed that the children were missing and asked,
Wait, where are the kids?
I told her I had left them with Asuka and sat her down in the living room.
What do you want to talk about? I have to make dinner now. Pick up the kids so they don't stay so late, okay?
Hiromi said in her usual tone. Well, let's talk.
What?
I handed Hiromi the envelope with the printouts.
What's this? Is it some kind of surprise?
Hiromi happily said as she took the envelope, but she froze when she took out the contents. She stared at the printout for about 10 minutes, completely frozen. And during the long silence, the sounds of cars passing by from outside lingered in my ears. I had no choice, so I started the conversation. I'm sure you have your reasons, but don't make excuses. Just tell me the facts. There are things we need to figure out from now on. She started talking after I said that. The other partner seems to be a man named Oda, 38 years old, who is the boss of the company, and was transferred to the branch of Hiromi's company 2 years ago.
It all started when we got together on a project. He confessed to me at the lunch.
Hiromi initially rejected him because she was married, but apparently, she respected Oda because he was her boss, who was good at his job. Well, from a different perspective, she was happy. And in time, Hiromi seemed to find the pleasure in immorality.
The physical relationship started about a year ago.
Oda, who saw Hiromi about 1 to 3 times a month, was serious about her and wanted her to divorce me so they could be together. And as for Hiromi,
We're just friends and I wasn't thinking of divorcing you, Fubuki.
she said, so selfishly.
I knew I had to end it at some point.
I quickly secured Hiromi's phone and saw that her texts with Oda were still there. So I called Oda and I gave it to Hiromi, had her put it on speaker, and listened to the exchange. Hiromi, what's up? Hello? What?
My husband found out.
What? Really? Then I took her phone and put it off speaker. Oda-san, this is her husband, Fubuki. You know what this is about, don't you? Well, Oda seemed quite flustered, but I continued on regardless. I can't do it over the phone, so can you come to the house? Then I called Oda to my neighborhood, and Hiromi and I went to pick him up there. After a while, Oda drove up, and we got in his car. But there was one thing I couldn't tolerate. When I sat in the back seat, Hiromi sat in the passenger seat without hesitation. Huh? I was so upset that I kicked the passenger seat from the back seat. I still won't forget the look on Oda and Hiromi's faces at that moment. And when I got back home, my friend and his wife were waiting for me, worried. Then the 5 of us started talking. And of course, we started the voice recorder. What Oda said generally matched what Hiromi had said. And when I let him speak, first of all, I want to apologize to the husband. Second, I want to show my sincerity to you with as much money as you wish within the range of what I can do. And third, if possible, I would like this to be kept secret from the company. And I would like to be with Hiromi-san. I was satisfied with the apology and the fee, but I could not accept the idea of keeping this a secret from the company and the wish she had to be with Hiromi. So I asked Hiromi about it.
I don't want my company to know either.
She said she didn't want to divorce me, but she didn't confirm or deny remarrying Oda. So this attitude triggered the divorce. I sent Oda home and talked with Hiromi in the presence of my friend and his wife. I need some time to think about it. I also want to give some kind of punishment to Oda. And don't contact him outside of work. Worst case scenario, I need you to resign. Hiromi simply nodded. After my friend and his wife left, I asked Hiromi again, why were you attracted to that guy? And an unexpected reply came back.
Actually, I'm into old men.
She prefers men who are older than her, and Oda seemed to be the perfect fit. Huh? I was disgusted. And I called Asuka that night and told her the whole story, or rather, had her listen to my whole story. And the next day, I went to pick up the kids. Ryota, who had heard about the situation, was doing some business. I have a legal counsel, so I'll refer you to him, he said, and I ended up having a lawyer come in between. The next week, we had a meeting, and after getting a lot of advice, we decided to claim 3 million yen. According to the lawyer, I don't think it's an amount that can't be taken. However, if the other party is insistent and the case goes to court, it will become more difficult. so it's best to settle the case. Exactly 2 weeks after the affair was discovered, I told Hiromi that I wanted a divorce. In the presence of my lawyer, of course. I called my parents and in-laws at the same time and explained to them what had happened. At that time, my father-in-law said, "You idiot!" and tried to slap Hiromi. But my father and I tried our best to stop him. I think that was the most chaotic moment. And then I told Oda about the alimony. And to be honest, I thought he was going to argue with me. But he agreed to our terms fully. Hiromi, on the other hand, was initially stubborn. But after seeing the facts, she agreed to it with the persuasion of her in-laws. Don't be stubborn at this point. And later on, the custody was decided on my side. Although Oda's intention was strong in this matter, I was saved. I had my lawyer write up the documents. It went surprisingly smoothly. That was my impression. I didn't claim alimony from Hiromi, but we agreed on 2 million with the suggestion from my parents-in-law, and I received an additional 3 million from Oda, for a total of 5 million. Visitation between the kids and Hiromi will begin in 6 months. However, it will be in the presence of a third party and will last no longer than 4 hours. No one but the mother is allowed to see the child. These are the conditions. The joint-owned property was abandoned. The home is in my name, but I'm the only one paying the mortgage on the house. Well, that sounds like a one-sided win. The hardest part was when I had to leave my kids. I can't tell them the truth, so I said, "Mom got a job." That's what I told them, but it was hard for me too. Child support was paid monthly, and Hiromi and Oda remarried 7 months after the divorce. I remarried a year later because I had the chance. The other woman is Asuka's junior, and she's quite beautiful. People might think we're madly in love. And we are. I'm living happily every day. I can't thank Asuka enough. And 3 months after Hiromi's remarriage, I got a request for a visit, and when I saw her,
It's been a while.
she seemed to lack the energy she once had. And 2 years later, she started emailing me, asking to meet alone with me. Reason being,
Oda-san told me he wanted to have a baby soon, but I couldn't, so I looked into it and found that the cause was Oda-san. My in-laws are also urging me to have a grandchild, and I'm only relieved when I'm shopping.
as I was listening, giving off appropriate replies,
I'm only relieved when I'm shopping for things online every day, and I can't stop.
wait, isn't that a shopping addiction? It's amazing how you shop every day.
I've already maxed out the credit card. What am I supposed to do?
Oda got what he deserved. I honestly thought so.
So annoying! Ugh. I'm Kotami. I just got home from a long vacation and I was pissed. My hands were still shaking in anger. What happened? Well, where do I even begin? So I had this boyfriend, Takuma. We started dating about 3 years ago, and a few months ago, he proposed to me. So I decided to go meet his parents during the winter holiday. Can't wait! His parents lived up north, so there were lots of ski resorts and hot spring baths near their house.
We'll have lunch with them. After that, we'll head to the nearby hot spring resort, spend the night there, and hit the splits the next morning. Sound good?
Yup, I was so excited. Takuma said he'd make all the reservations.
I know a place. I'll take care of the reservations.
That was nice of him. You sure?
Yeah, no worries. I've been there lots of times.
He's so reliable. I love him so much. But then, turns out he was lying. And he told me this in the car. We were a few minutes away from his house when he told me. Wait, you didn't make a reservation? He never booked the hotel.
I thought about it, but why waste money when we could just stay with my parents? They'd be thrilled to have you over. No worries.
Hi, I'm Kotami. After we got there, I introduced myself to his parents. But then, something unexpected happened.
Shovel the snow for me.
His mom handed me a shovel. Okay. I grew up in the South, so I never shoveled snow in my life. Why are they making me do this? I was a bit confused, but maybe this was a part of their culture or something. So I kept my mouth shut and got to work.
We'll be done in no time.
Takuma was helping me too, so I wasn't that worried, but then... Takuma? Where did you go? He was nowhere to be found. I went to the front of the house and his car was gone, and his parents weren't home either. What the? Where did they all go? I just stood there for a few minutes, not knowing what to do. I guess I'll just have to keep shoveling. So I got back to it. Then 2 hours later, Takuma and his parents came home. They all smelled like garlic. Where were you guys?
Oh, we were eating lunch. We had Korean barbecue,
She said to me with a big smile. Then Takuma came up to me and said,
You're still not done? You're so slow.
was he serious right now? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. What? And since he didn't book a hotel for us, I had no choice but to spend the night at his parents' house.
Come on, dinner's ready. Let's eat.
His mom prepared us a hot pot dish, but then
Here you go, Katomi.
they made me sit at a different table for some reason. Then Takuma brought me this small bowl and placed it on my table. Thanks. I felt really miserable. Then Takuma fell asleep from drinking too much. So now I was all alone with his parents.
You're spending the night here, but you two aren't even married.
Yeah, young people these days.
Sorry. I don't think they liked me very much. I never wanted to stay here. This is all Takuma's fault. Then, the next morning, I was hoping we could go skiing or something, but
Okay, today I want you to shovel the snow off the roof and clean out the garage for me.
seriously? Okay. Meanwhile, everyone was eating at the table eating breakfast. I couldn't take it anymore. I'm leaving. Screw this. So I went back to the guest room and started packing my things, but then
What are you doing? Going somewhere?
Takuma's dad came into the room without even knocking, and he reeked of alcohol. He startled me. How did he know? Was he spying on me or something? Were they spying on me this whole time? I got goosebumps all over my body. Oh, I gotta use the restroom. Excuse me. Then I snuck out of the house and started running. But we were in the middle of nowhere. I wanted to find a cab, but the streets were empty. How do I get to the station? So I ran into a nearby convenience store and asked where the closest train station was. So cold, so heavy. This sucks. Finally, I got to the station. Then many hours later, I finally got on the bullet train. It was such a relief. Finally. But what did I do to deserve this? Ugh. Then I got a text from Takuma.
Why did you leave? I know I was a bit hard on you, but I wanted to show my parents that I was a man now.
What on earth was he talking about? What's wrong with him? Seriously. And he's not gonna even apologize to me? My hand started shaking in anger. I didn't feel like replying, so I turned off my phone. Then, a few hours later, I was almost home. So hungry. So I walked into a nearby convenience store and got some cream puffs, meat buns, and a hot dog. I was starving. So good. A few minutes later, I was back in my apartment. I thought about going to sleep, but the rage started building inside me again. So I turned on my phone back on and I need to talk to someone about this. So I texted some of my friends and told them about what happened. It made me feel a little better. Then I fell asleep. But then about an hour later, my phone rang. It was from my friend Mommy.
Hey, I read your text. What the hell is wrong with Takuma? I had no idea he was like this. Screw that guy, you deserve better.
Mommy, thanks for saying that. Mommy was a mutual friend of ours. She sounded worried and a bit surprised. Takuma was never like this, at least not in front of his friends. He was just a normal guy. He usually kept to himself. Some might say that he was a quiet type. But for all this, I thought he was a really nice guy, and I trusted him too.
Some guys are like that. Their attitude changes when they're in front of their parents. Not sure why, but it happens.
I had no reason to stay with Takuma anymore, so I broke it off with him and moved on with my life. Then, 10 years later, I love hiking. Feels so good to get some fresh air. After breaking up with Takuma, I met someone and now he's my husband. I had forgotten all about Takuma. We haven't talked in 10 years. But then, one day, out of nowhere, what the? I got an email from this unknown address. These days I usually use Line to message people, so I thought it was a bit strange, but I opened the email anyways. Then,
You exposed me on the internet! Screw you! Apologize to me! You have to make this right!
what? So apparently, someone posted a story about what Takuma did to me many years ago. Then he saw the post and he was furious. I didn't reply to him. Instead, I called Mommy and asked her if she knew anything about this.
Oh, that was me. I posted that story myself.
What?
I didn't want other people to go through the same thing, so I put it out there as a warning.
She also talked to my friends for me. She thought Takuma might try to spread lies about me to get back at me, so she was 2 steps ahead of him. And besides, we had the texts and voicemails to prove all this, so Takuma was screwed. He wasn't talking this way out of this.
And I was right, you know? Takuma tried to spread all kinds of rumors about you. Most people didn't believe him, but still, he's such an idiot.
A few hours later, Takuma sent me another email.
All the girls hate me now! I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life! This is all your fault!
Sucks for you, but not my problem. Should have thought about that before you treated me like a servant. It wasn't looking good for him. Whatever, he's not my problem anymore. But glad mommy's on my side.
Listen, you're damaged goods! You were engaged to me once! Who'd want you now? It's not too late to start over! Come back to me! I'm willing to give you another chance!
Seriously? He's pathetic. I don't even know what to say to him. I was starting to feel kind of bad for him. Oh well, I'm sure he'll figure it out. I think I should get a new number. I don't want anything to do with him. I didn't want him stalking me or anything, so just in case, you know? Never hurts to be too careful. Time to get a new phone. So, the next day I went to the store and got myself a new phone. Anyways, it was a rough couple of years, but glad everything worked out.
Thank you for watching all the way till the end. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. See you next time!